from the Lakeside Newsroom of the Henrico Citizen, your hometown news source since 2001. This is the Henrico News Minute with publisher Tom Lapis.
New details about COVID-19 testing in Henrico. The Board of Supervisors plans to adopt a budget tonight, and your chance to see an Air Force flyover this evening. We've got information about those stories and more in today's Henrico News Minute for Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. It's brought to you today by Affinity Group Underwriters.
And now for the news.
New Virginia Department of Health data is providing details about what COVID-19 testing looks like throughout Henrico County. But the data, which generally shows the number of tests administered and the number of positive results among residents of each of the county's 14 zip codes, is not exact science and doesn't necessarily reflect actual risk of contracting the virus in any given area, according to Henrico Health Director Danny Avula and Virginia Department of Health officials. Roughly 6,000 county residents, just shy of 2% of Henrico's overall population, have been tested during the first 2 months of the pandemic, but most testing conducted to date has been of people with some symptoms, according to Avula, which inherently results in a higher percentage of positive tests. The region, he said, has reached an in-between phase of testing during which it's increasing the number of tests administered through public and private providers, but doesn't quite have the type of mass testing needed to begin evaluating people without symptoms. On HenricoCitizen.com right now you can read much more about this topic, including details from my conversation with Avula yesterday, and view a detailed list by zip code of confirmed cases and tests conducted in Henrico County. At its 7 p.m. meeting tonight, the Henrico Board of Supervisors is expected to adopt the outline of a $1.3 billion budget proposal for fiscal year 2021. The vote will come 2 weeks later than originally scheduled, as county officials had to delay the process in order to slash $99 million from their original proposal. The new fiscal year will begin July 1st, and the board is not allocating all funds at once. Instead, it will do so on a quarterly basis in order to constantly evaluate the financial situation and make adjustments as needed. You can read more about the budget proposal at HenricoCitizen.com by clicking on News and then Government. At tonight's meeting, the board also is expected to consider approval of plans for a life care center that would be built on about 8.5 acres at the intersection of Knuckles Road and Ford's Country Lane in the far west end. Supervisors also will hold a public hearing about the proposed allocation of roughly $1.5 million in federal CARES Act funding through the county's Department of Community Revitalization. The funding is tentatively proposed to be provided to several county agencies, including the Social Services Department and Mental Health and Developmental Services Department, as well as a number of community organizations such as Caritas, the Salvation Army, Housing Families First, Homeward, St. Joseph's Villa, and Commonwealth Catholic Charities. If you would like to provide comment to the board during the meeting, you may do so remotely. Visit henrico.us/supervisors/next-meeting to learn more or to register to speak. Henrico County Public Schools officials yesterday announced that instead of just one high school graduation celebration, the class of 2020 in Henrico will have 3 apiece. Each of the county's public high schools will host a virtual graduation ceremony watch party, a graduation victory lap at Richmond Raceway, and a cap and gown photo session for each graduate. The events are designed to enable grads and their families to mark the occasion safely. The graduation ceremony watch parties will be held June 8th to 11th and will include many of the elements of a traditional graduation, according to school system officials, such as student speeches and comments from local dignitaries. Each senior will have his or her name and photo shown in a video slideshow. Richmond Raceway has offered the school system the use of its track for a graduation victory lap, during which grads and their immediate family members will be able to parade in cars around the track. Seniors will arrive in decorated vehicles and be directed by the track to a Richmond Raceway pace car. And then graduates will have the chance to pose in their caps and gowns, accepting their diplomas in individual photos taken by a professional photographer. Each graduate will have a scheduled time to visit his or her school to receive the diploma and have pictures taken. The school system will pay for the cost of one 8x10 print for each graduate. Students and their families should expect to receive more detailed information about the plans from their principals soon. Well, members of the U.S. Air Force Combat Command F-22 Raptor demonstration team and Air Force Heritage Flight will conduct a flyover of the Richmond and Hampton Roads areas tonight to honor healthcare workers and state residents who have stayed home to help fight the pandemic. The flyover is expected to be visible in the Shore Pump area at about 6:30 and will progress quickly eastward over downtown Richmond, generally along the I-64 corridor toward Virginia Beach, where it will conclude around 7 o'clock. You are urged to stay home to watch rather than to try to travel anywhere to get a better view. Varina District School Board member Alicia Atkins will host a virtual coffee and conversation meeting tonight at 6 p.m. for constituents. Register for the event at tinyurl.com/Varina meeting. There is no charge, but there are a limited number of spots available. As part of our recent Facebook Journalism Project grant, we at the Henrico Citizen are seeking freelance journalists, photographers, videographers, and paid interns to help us explore the effects of COVID-19 on a variety of aspects of life in Henrico County. We are now accepting applications. If you're interested or to learn more, you can visit henricocitizen.com/Henrico-citizen-freelance-opportunities. Today's Henrico News Minute has been brought to you by Affinity Group Underwriters and its new Fundamental Care Group Insurance Plan with no deductibles, costs 30 to 40% less than high deductible plans, now available in Virginia. For details, visit agu.net/fundamental.php.